Hey, welcome to World of Warships in our Friday edition video, where today I'm going to be featuring the Tier 9 Dutch cruiser, the Johan De Witt. In my live stream last night, I was like, yeah, maybe I can showcase the Guden the Tier 10 Dutch cruiser, and I realized just as I was getting ready to sit down, I haven't featured the Johan De Witt. So I've already featured Haarlem, but now it's time to feature the Johan De Witt. So speaking of live streams, I will be live streaming tonight at 7:30 p.m. Central European Standard Time or 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be streaming for probably at least 3 hours. So if you're around, I'll be streaming on YouTube. So come and hang out with us. So the Johan De Witt, Tier 9 Dutch cruiser. It's a smaller version of a project battle cruiser. And Johan De Witt is rocking 240mm guns. Her hull A has 42,100 hit points, and the hull B has 45,900 hit points. You also get to upgrade the firing range from 14.6 to 16 kilometers. So that 14.6 at Tier 9 is pretty rough, so you definitely want to be able to buff the range more. And propulsion of 32 knots without building anything into speed like combat signal like the Zero Mic flag. So I'm going to be reading a little bit from the WoW's wiki on the ship. And I'm just going to basically cover the pros and cons. But as I go through this list, one of the things I want to make mention of in terms of pros of these cruisers is they are they have a feeling of a light cruiser, but or maybe you could say a heavy cruiser, but they're more like a battle cruiser in terms of the armor capability that they have. There was someone in a WoW's wiki was making reference of the Good and Lu like having the guns of a light cruiser, but I'm like, that ship has the largest guns of any tech tree cruisers in World of Warship. At least I think that's still the case. Tech tree, mind you. But the pros and cons listed is the pros is the large gun caliber for a Tier 9 tech tree cruiser at 240mm. Powerful AP shells with good damage and penetration and shell velocity. Heavily armored midsection and icebreaker bow. That's going to kind of help us out here. Second strongest airstrike among Dutch cruisers, only beaten by the Tier 10 Dutch cruiser. Very powerful AA defenses, aided by the defensive AA fire consumable, which you see we have tied into the Y key. And improved repair party. Consumable with a fast cooldown, so 40 seconds. So that allows you to be a little bit more of a tank and taking some more damage that you can come back online quicker with getting those heals off. Amazing concealment for such a vessel as low as 10 kilometers with all relevant upgrades. So yeah, so you're seeing that we are rocking indeed 10.0 concealment. Just had to check that. The cons is the short-range main battery, especially if you're running the stock gunfire control system, since it's 14.6, not the upgraded to 16. Poor main battery rate of fire, for sure. Subpar main battery accuracy, also for sure. I feel like you're probably going to see some examples of that here in this game. While fire chance is decent, HE damage output is very low. Like all Dutch large cruisers, Johan De Witt has increased fire and flood duration, same as a battleship, so your fires and your floods will go for longer than like a standard cruiser. Airstrikes have a fairly long cooldown and slow rudder shift for a cruiser. So the approach I like to play when I'm playing this line, particularly now that I've played the Johan De Witt, and I've played a lot of the Tier 10 Dutch cruiser, primarily I think I've actually played it more on the public test server than I have on the live main server here. And it's kind of getting yourself into these positions where your airstrike, which Wargaming has said that they built the ship around the airstrike. Usually, you try to build the ship around the guns, but they've designed it around the airstrike. And so being able to position yourself in a place where you can have range with your airstrike is really important to get them off on enemy ships, like we're targeting this FDG. And FDG is a very large wide battleship for us, so we will be able to get some decent HE airstrikes off onto the FDG. So if I would have gone all the way up to the 9-10 line as an example, the only thing I'd have to airstrike right now would be the Zorki running down the 10 line right now. So that is why I've chosen to take more of this position and using these islands along Bravo. So the airstrike range is 12 kilometers. I think when you go to the tier 10, it goes up to 13 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. But working my way towards this position where I can work along these islands, so I can actually, my airstrike covers all of Bravo and almost covers all of C, is really great. So we're just chilling out here. There's a lot of enemy ships on the south side of Bravo, so we're going to reverse out. We were trying to avoid some of that fire that was coming at us earlier. And we have this Neptune, this Smolensk, and there's even a Yoshino running around. And we got the AP loaded. So the AP does quite well, to be honest. When we're in this position, we can punish these cruisers who are, they're trying to play behind the island between B and A. And that's why I'm in this position too, because I know I can punish them with my guns. So this Neptune has come out broadside. As our team's beginning to push more on that A. And yeah, so Neptune doesn't have a lot of armor to begin with, but it's something that you can definitely punish here with the Neptune. So the other thing you see me doing here is, another reason why I liked this video in particular is alternating between your guns and your airstrike to get the most out of it while you're, we have this 13 second reload time roughly, as we say goodbye to Mr. Neptune. But you have this longer reload time, meaning that you can alternate between your guns and your HE airstrike and getting that off on enemy ships. So now we have the Yoshino coming out broadside. Here, I think I ended up aiming a little too low. It felt good, and I really wanted to punish his broadside and hit that citadel. But we aimed too low, so I could have aimed a little bit higher there. So I'm going to try to aim a little bit higher on the next salvo. And then we drop our bomb strike on the FDG. So again, what I liked about this gameplay was the fact that I was alternating between both of these really well. So strike out on Yoshino. We have checking out to see if our salvo is accurate on the FDG. And with the fire, results in a double strike. So again, trying to emphasize that fact of alternating between the guns and the airstrike. So now we feel like we've pretty much taken care of the threats. I want to move up here, and our gearing is kind of, it's a little too late for him. One thing I will critique myself on is I wish I would have kept the AP loaded here. I ended up switching over to the HE, and that really wasn't needed. I think I would have gotten more mileage out of my AP coming up here. Because as the WowsWiki article references, the HE is kind of meh, like it's something. But the AP is definitely much more better in my opinion. And I think I had to switch to HE because I thought there's a destroyer still there, so that's why I was looking at the dissipated smoke screen to see there's a dead destroyer sitting in it. So I think that's why I ended up switching to HE. But I would have, if I was in a situation again, I'd want to switch to the AP because we had this rune, and the Yamato's not too far away from us, where the AP can do really good damage, especially on this rune. So we utilize the island to get our weird turret up and away. And yeah, so you can see we got no pins with our HE bombs on the Yamato, and we did about 6,000 damage to that rune. But if we had AP, we probably actually would have gotten picked up kill number 4 there. And again, here on Yamato, if that AP, you can actually focus on the stern of the ship, and probably would have gotten some reliable pins there. So this match is definitely a bit of a wash for the enemy team, so it's not a match that's close in that sense. But what I liked about this was I wanted to illustrate the tankiness of the ship when we were pushing up. Positioning to make sure that your airstrike is relevant. Alternating between your guns and your airstrike. And not being afraid to utilize the AP, because on the Haarlem, if I'm pronouncing it right, AP is a bit of a disaster, I would say, in my opinion. But when you get to the Johan De Witt and the Tier 10 Dutch Cruiser, which I'm so, I would like to pronounce the name of the ship right, but I'm still getting it wrong. The AP is much more reliable and definitely packs a punch, because these are some of the largest guns of any of the tech tree cruisers here in World of Warships. So the Satsuma is going down, and that's going to be game for us. So let's go post battle results. So personal score 26,000 XP, 6,500 free XP with the double strike, 70,000 damage, 6 fires, 2 destroyed, 5 citadels. We got 29 bomb hits. So we didn't get a lot of use out of our guns there because of our positioning. And that's one of the things, sometimes you have to be okay that maybe you don't always get the most out of your guns in the positioning with this ship. Mid of the team, mid of the pack, just because, again, it was a bit of a wash for the enemy team. So I didn't just want to show this just because, yeah, we won and stuff, but the gameplay, to me, illustrated things that I feel like I've gone quite comfortably with the ship. Airstrike we did, looks like only 9,000, but our fire damage was 12,000, guns were 49,000. The broadside Neptune definitely helped with that one. And then here you can see credits with premium account versus non-premium account. So all in all, it was a good game for sure. I will be featuring, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this tech tree line done. I'm gonna showcase the Guden next Friday, as well as an upgrade commander build video on Saturday. So tomorrow I'll do an upgrade commander build video of the Johan De Witt. I think I've already moved the commander off of him, so I'll have to remove that back on. And I think there's something we have to look at with our 4th upgrade slot on the ship. I'm not sure if that's actually what is mounted because I have a sneaky suspicion wouldn't want to change that here in the ship. And we can discuss why tomorrow. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you subscribe, thanks so much. I would appreciate it. And again, live streaming tonight, 7:30 p.m. Central European Standard Time or 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the America region. So take care.